Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Saturday, December 26, 2020. Fox report. Internal NYPD memo warns of cops being targets of IED vehicle attacks. The NYPD has been on the alert for weeks for possible attacks similar to Friday's deliberate RV explosion in Nashville, the Post has learned. An internal NYPD memo issued earlier this month warned that law enforcement were the priority targets for terror attacks involving homemade bombs and vehicle arson. The Dec. 14 memo, obtained by the Post, said violent extremists and malicious criminal actors might go after cops to exacerbate tensions, exploit civil unrest, and incite further violence.
Deutsche Welle report. Coronavirus. 101-year-old woman among first in Germany to receive BioNTech Pfizer COVID vaccine. A 101-year-old woman in a nursing home on Saturday became one of Germany's first people to get vaccinated against coronavirus. BioNTech Pfizer vaccinations kicked off in the state of Saxony-Anhalt, a day before Germany officially launches its coronavirus vaccination campaign. In Halberstadt, 101-year-old Edith Koizela was the first resident of the town's Kruger Center for Senior Citizens to receive the jab.
CNN report. Best-laid plans were derailed by 2020 and pandemic, even for Vladimir Putin. Russian President Vladimir Putin began 2020 with a surprise, sweeping his entire government aside on January 15 after unveiling a raft of constitutional reforms. Observers were quick to read the fine print. The constitutional overhaul would reset the clock on presidential term limits, potentially extending Putin's hold on power until 2036. A referendum was set for April, and Putin seemed to be coasting toward a presidency for life.
CNN report. This retired couple made 1,400 toys to give away this Christmas. A real-life Santa's workshop is churning out toys in Desert Hot Springs, California. This 26-year Army veteran and his wife have spent most of the last decade making toys in a wood shop behind their house. It's a labor of love that started as a hobby. After retirement, I got bored and needed something to do, 72-year-old Mike Sullivan told CNN. The couple joined a woodworking club and one of their projects was to build toys for kids.
Al Jazeera report. We will die. Hundreds of migrants freezing in Bosnia camp. Hundreds of migrants have been stranded in a squalid, burned-out tent camp in Bosnia and Herzegovina as heavy snow fell in the country and winter temperatures suddenly dropped. Migrants at the Lipa camp in northwest Bosnia wrapped themselves in blankets and sleeping bags on Saturday to protect against the biting winds in the region, which borders European Union member Croatia. A fire earlier this week destroyed much of the camp near the town of Bihać that already was harshly criticized by international officials and aid groups as being inadequate for housing refugees and migrants.
BBC report. Gingerbread monolith appears in San Francisco's Corona Heights. It is unclear who is behind the object, which combines two of 2020's trends, home baking and mysterious structures. Its arrival delighted many in Corona Heights, and yes, the neighborhood's name predates the pandemic. I was pretty shocked when I first saw the gingerbread monolith, product manager Josh Ackerman told the BBC. Other monoliths have popped up around the world in recent weeks. The first, a mysterious metal pillar, was discovered in the desert in the U.S. state of Utah last month, before it disappeared a week later.
CNN report. More than 500,000 people flew in America on Christmas Day. The Transportation Security Administration screened 616,469 people at airport security checkpoints across the United States on Christmas Day, the agency said Saturday. That's just 23% of the number of travelers who flew the same day a year ago, before the pandemic, and about half of the 1.2 million passengers who flew on Wednesday, setting a pandemic air travel record. On Thursday, Christmas Eve, 846,520 people passed through TSA checkpoints.
Deutsche Welle report. Archaeologists in Pompeii discover ancient snack bar. Archaeologists in Pompeii unveiled an intact hot food and drinks shop on Saturday which could provide valuable information on the gastronomic habits of people in the ancient city before it was buried in a volcanic eruption in 79 AD. The Thermopolium, which means a place where hot food and drinks are served, has led archaeologists to call it a snack bar. Thermopoliums were very popular in the Roman world.
CNN report. These were the deadliest jobs in the U.S. last year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. work-related deaths reached a 12-year high in 2019 at more than 5,300. According to new data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a worker died every 99 minutes from a work-related injury in 2019, the BLS reported this month. The number of work-related deaths has steadily increased over the last 5 years, and 2019 was the deadliest year since 2007 for deaths on the job. Drivers accounted for 1480 of all work-related deaths in 2019, around 1 in 5 workers who died on the job, BLS said.
Fox report. Possible active shooter at Texas resort prompts lockdown, reports. A popular Texas resort was in lockdown Friday night after reports of a possible active shooter. Law enforcement swarmed the Great Wolf Lodge in Grapevine after 10 p.m. local time, and placed the hotel on lockdown as a precaution, Grapevine police said on Twitter. "We are searching each room while families wait in a secure part of the resort," police tweeted 2 hours later. "There are no injuries reported, but we are still on scene and searching the area."
BBC report. Nashville explosion. Businesses and celebrities pledge $315,000 reward. Businessman Marcus Lemonis is the latest to donate to a reward pot, pledging $250,000. The explosion rocked the U.S. city early on Christmas Day, injuring 3 people and knocking out communications systems across the state of Tennessee. Possible human remains were later found near the blast site, U.S. media report. Police believe the powerful blast was caused deliberately, but no motive has yet been established, and no one has yet claimed responsibility.
Deutsche Welle report. Cold War double agent George Blake dies at 98. George Blake, a British spy who worked as a double agent for the Soviet Union, has died aged 98, Russian news agencies reported on Saturday. An agent for the British Foreign Intelligence Service MI6, Blake named hundreds of Western agents to the Soviet KGB in the 1950s. His case was among the most notorious of the Cold War. Born in Rotterdam in the Netherlands in 1922, Blake joined the Dutch resistance in World War II before escaping to Britain in January 1943.
Al Jazeera report. China to leapfrog U.S. as world's biggest economy by 2028. Report. China will overtake the United States to become the world's biggest economy in 2028, 5 years earlier than previously estimated due to the contrasting recoveries of the two countries from the COVID-19 pandemic, a think tank said. For some time, an overarching theme of global economics has been the economic and soft power struggle between the United States and China, the Center for Economics and Business Research said in an annual report published on Saturday.
BBC report. Coronavirus. More cases of new COVID variant found in Europe. The infections, all in Madrid, were linked to recent UK travel, the regional deputy health chief said. France, Denmark and the Netherlands have also reported cases in the past few days. Scientists say the new variant is considerably more transmissible than previous strains but not necessarily any more dangerous for those infected. Madrid Deputy Health Chief Antonio Zapatero said the confirmed cases involved 3 relatives of a man who flew from the UK on Thursday.
Al Jazeera report. Another BJP-governed Indian state plans anti-conversion law. The government in the central Indian state of Madhya Pradesh has approved a bill to prevent forceful religious conversions, a legislation critics say is aimed at curbing interfaith marriages. The bill includes a maximum punishment of up to 10 years in jail and up to 100,000 Indian rupees $1,358 in fine, with the burden of proof virtually falling on the accused and those associated with the accused, including organizations and institutions, State's Home Minister Narottam Mishra told a news conference on Saturday, without elaborating.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.